Hello and welcome. So in Gran Turismo 7 we have a couple of safety cars, and in today's video we are going to put them head to head to see which is the best safety car in Gran Turismo 7. So if you do go on to enjoy this video, don't forget leave a like and subscribe for more Gran Turismo 7 content. So with all that being said, let's see the contestants. So firstly we have the Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT, the Renault Megane RS Trophy, the BMW M4, the Nissan GT-R R35, and the Toyota Crown Elite G is the last safety car that we have in the game. And already before even testing, I already have some idea which is gonna be the best. So a good safety car needs to be fast in a straight line, around some turns, and also be fast enough to catch up to cars on track. So that is what we are gonna test for. So now firstly we're gonna do top speed. So to test top speed we are gonna be on special route X and just floor it up until the 3000 meter mark, and then we'll just record what speed it reached and call it a day. So in the Toyota Crown we actually see that as we're going along the speed is actually decreasing. We were doing 245 at one point, but now we're doing 242 going past the finish line. Now next up we have the R35 GTR. Now since I am a JDM fanboy, this is the car I'm hoping to win this whole thing. Now we can already see we smashed the Toyota's top speed our way, so this is the new leader. And 26 kilometers, 27 as we cross the line is gonna be our new benchmark. And the GTR didn't even hold on to their crown for very long because the Dodge Charger Hellcat smashed it by doing 329 kilometers per hour. The AMG GT ran a bit slower than expected, only doing 315. The Megane had more in it, but it was limited to 242. And our final hope was the M4, but sadly it didn't even reach 300. Now we see 3 points go to a Dodge, 2 to a GTR and 1 to the Mercedes. Now onto handling. Now to test handling we are coming over to Willow Springs. Now I just like the circuit because of its long fast corners and how it does have some sort of turn where you need to brake and take it quite slowly. So I thought, you know what, this is the best idea. Now all of the cars are driving with zero traction control, which means the vehicles like the M4, the Hellcats are gonna struggle because the rear end will want to step out the minute you put your foot down. So this will give the Renault an advantage. Even though it is heavily underpowered, it won't be slipping and sliding all over the place. So let's see how the results go. I decided to use the M4 first because I thought it would be the perfect benchmark time, because it was slap bang in the middle of the top speed test. So with the M4 it is a bit tricky to get a grasp of it at first, but once you get the hang of it, it's easy to honestly control the car. So you are still carrying some sort of speed, but you aren't losing too much time. So the M4, it does have a bit of slippage, but it's nothing that you can't control. And because of that and the power that it has, it is really a good balanced vehicle and it makes for a lot of fun driving. So after setting our benchmark time in the M4, which was a 127.7, the other cars had a lot of work cut out for them. Next up is the Toyota Crown Elite G. Now the Toyota Crown is a bit of a heavy vehicle, and considering how much power it has, it isn't the best power to weight ratio compared to some of the other vehicles that we are comparing. So now the car does feel heavy. It feels underpowered, but what really killed this car's performance was the fact that the car wanted to slide out. So unlike the M4 where the car would slide out but you are still able to put your foot down and make up whatever lost time you had, this car, it just doesn't have that. The minute you slide out, you're losing time and that's it. You aren't gonna make it back up. And that's the whole reason this car set a 134.6 around Willow Springs. Now next up we have the R35 GTR. Now this car had a big advantage compared to the other safety cars, as this is the only one with an all-wheel drive system, which means with the car having no traction on, it still had a lot more grip than the other cars. But the GTR still slid out, it still got the rear end out, but it regained control a lot faster than a lot of other vehicles. Yes, the car does run wide here and there, but the amounts of power that the GTR has, it really competes and makes it as fast as it is. Now something that I do want to mention is the fact that all of these safety cars are standard. The minute you purchase a safety car, this is the performance that you are going to receive. I have not upgraded anything at all. This is the safety car stock. And our stock GTR safety car did it in 125.6. And now the Hellcat with over 700 horsepower stock. This car was going to be a handful to drive now with no traction control. And I think that was the biggest issue with the Dodge Charger. Now with it having so much power, you had to really throttle control the vehicle and not be able to put as much power down as you would like, because the rear wheels would light up. Even with applying half throttle, the car would still go sideways. But this ultimately was the biggest downfall for this car when it came to going around some turns. However, where this car did make up was on the short straightaways, because with it having so much power, this car was able to just accelerate and make up a lot of time. We were able to do a 126.6 without traction control. With traction control, we might have been able to go a bit faster. Now the Mercedes AMG GT. This car honestly surprised me because it does have a lot of power and it is rear wheel drive, but somehow it had more grip than the Nissan GTR. Now don't get me wrong, the car did still slide out, but it was easier to control and it felt as if I could push it a lot harder through the corners than with the GTR. So I thought, you know what, this car is gonna make for one hell of a close race between it and the GTR. Now I knew I had made a few mistakes in the GTR, but I also made a few mistakes in the AMG GT. So I knew it was gonna be very close, but I didn't expect it to be this close. As the AMG GT also set a 125, but it set a 0.7, just missing out on beating the GTR's time. And lastly, the Renault Megane RS Trophy. Now this is the only front wheel drive safety car that we have, which means even though it was the least powerful, with it having front wheel drive, it gave it some sort of an advantage because we never had to battle with oversteer, which meant I was almost able to push it full speed throughout all of the corners, which meant it made up a lot of time. But as I said, it is underpowered. Putting this up against a Hellcat is actually unfair because of the power difference. The Hellcat will run away from this on any small straightaway that you put at it, and the Hellcat can just run at such a higher speed compared to the Megane. But where there is corners, the Megane makes up a lot of time. And with that being said, it set a 1 minute 30 around Willow Springs. Now with the updated scores, we see that it is a 3-horse race. And now for the final test, catch up. So we are gonna set a 2020 GR Supra around the Dragon Trail circuit. We are gonna give it a 10-second head start before our safety car can set off, and we're gonna see how long it takes for our safety car to overtake the GR Supra. So first up, we had the Renault Megane starting us off. Now with the ability of the Renault to carry a lot of speed through corners, it took us 1 minute and 52 seconds to overtake the GR Supra. Now the M4 was able to make up the most ground through acceleration and braking, and was able to overtake the Supra in just over 1 minute and 26 seconds. The Toyota Crown did it in a very similar spot to the Megane, but did it in 1 minute and 56 seconds. And then it was time for the GTR to show the others how it's done, overtaking the Supra in 1 minute and 12 seconds, shattering the other previous times. Just look at the Charger absolutely blow the doors off the Supra as it goes flying past, overtaking it at 1 minute and 19 seconds. And lastly, the AMG GT. Now this car had amazing handling and a lot of power, and this car was able to overtake the Supra at 1 minute and 14 seconds. So that means this car was able to do it faster than the Hellcat, but still slower than the Nissan GTR. So the final score is GTR on top, and the Dodge and Mercedes is tied, while the others haven't even received a point. So this just goes to show you how different each safety car really is. So all of them are a lot of fun, but if you are looking for the best safety car, then you're gonna need to pick up the Nissan GTR. So if you guys did enjoy this video, if you did, don't forget leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.